Welcome back. So Kwabelo Kamanda has been elected as the new mayor in the city of Johannesburg. Let's look at some of these municipalities where coalitions have proven to be a major struggle for political parties. Joining us now is Dr. Bernard Sebake, who is a director of student governance and development at the Nelson Mandela University. Dr. Sebake, thank you so much for making time for us. You have recently written about coalition power play at municipalities, and we'll get into that in a moment. Just your reaction to the appointment, in fact, the election of Kabelo Kwamanda as the mayor of the city of Johannesburg. I don't know if you had the opportunity to hear what he had to say in his first address, public address, to the city council and the residents of the city of Johannesburg. What did you make?
Thanks very much, Clement, and let me acknowledge the invitation. My reaction is that I think, firstly, the coalition and the government of local unity, as it has been termed, the commitment of the mayor really talks about the very important essence of what a developmental local government ought to do in promoting the livelihood of its own citizens. And also he acknowledged in the process that, Johannesburg is a very important a geographical landmark. It is an economic hub of South Africa and Africa. Therefore, it has to inspire confidence in terms of its ability to foreground service delivery, working side by side with the community. Therefore, he has also embraced the opposition as the most important part of the city that must join, hence in terms of making sure that the city of Johannesburg does do as it is expected to do, really a government that works with the citizens to build that ecosystem and comfort their life.
Yeah. And given the current leadership in the city of Johannesburg, do you think that is possible for us to see the cooperation of the various political parties for, as Mr. Kwamanda said, to bring back the heartbeat of the city of Johannesburg? That's going to require the majority of our political leaders, and given what's happened over the last couple of years, even just this week on its own, you question whether or not our political leaders are mature enough to sit down and put the interests of the citizens of the city first, above their own.
Look, Clement, I think the maturity that has been displayed, and one would acknowledge that the fact that to arrive at this result of having a mayor in the city of Johannesburg, it did not come as easy as possible. The build-up of the week have given an opportunity for horse trading, for a really give and take. And that give and take has actually, made this kind of cohesion that we see today prevailing. And however, the hope that I have is that one of the key factors that really create challenges in the cohesion in local government, as we have seen in the couple of years, is the issue of undermining ideological context and what different manifestos are saying. But when one looks at the EFF and the ANC as the organization that seem to be in charge of this government of a local unity, their manifesto are not moving far from each other in terms of understanding what the people of Johannesburg are actually, in need of. And that gives hope. One wishes that the continuous engagement be there to sustain this momentum and forge stability in the city of Johannesburg.
So a lot of the people in Johannesburg this afternoon are hoping that the election of Kabelo Kwamanda will not only bring about stability, but there's also going to be longevity in terms of, this executive that he has announced today. So we're going to see him remaining possibly as mayor until the next elections. But given what we've seen recently, the chances are possibly so less? I mean, we're hearing now that there was a suggestion that Kenny Kunene should be mayor, the PA willing to go clearly where it gets what it wants, and that brings about instability. Who knows how they're going to decide tomorrow when they wake up. So let's talk about what needs to be done then to ensure this level of stability so that we're not relying on the politicians who so far have proven to us they put their interests first. The amendment of the Municipal Structures Act is perhaps where we have to start first. Do you think that can make a difference? Because there's a suggestion that it failed to be futuristic by articulating how coalition governance can be embraced.
The Municipal Structures Act make a provision that in terms of making decisions and in terms of power sharing, this process will be done in the context of a political will of the political parties that serve in council. That is why, at the current moment, the frameworks that the political parties are drawing now is a culmination of the experience of the past 7 years, and that shows that the instability and the rot of that is an indication that perhaps there's no proper or an intense resolution mechanism, a conflict resolution mechanism in the metros or in local government. And also that conflict resolution mechanism, it gives us an opportunity to ensure that this horse trade that we have seen, where give and take have been the order of engagement of various caucuses, be taken as an important aspect of strengthening caucus so that caucuses play their role in the best interest of the citizen. One of the key aspects is that what the political leaders are not seeing clearly is how their different manifestos and various interests are unable to unify them. And the suggestion by the ANC that the coalition must include what we call citizen charter. That's another aspect that perhaps Municipal Systems Act, Municipal Structures Act must be able to look into in terms of strengthening. And another issue which is very important is the time frame and the window period that must be considered before any political party decide to withdraw their councillors or either also put forward a motion of no confidence. That is a clause that must be considered in making sure that it gives chances to engage and agree on certain principles before we raise perpetual motion of confidence that became the political culture of our municipalities in South Africa.
Yeah, and there are those who argue that the solution to this coalition crisis is not going to be a legal one. It's not possible to legislate political behavior or force political parties into stable coalitions. But at least, as you indicate, there is some difference that the law can make, particularly this municipal structures bill that's now before Parliament. Dr. Bernard Sebake, thank you for making time for us.